Welcome back to Switch to Linux. So, we are going to have an interesting show today. I cut out a lot of the general business stuff this time because there were just a lot of different tech type stuff that I saw coming on down through the world there. So, of course, if you didn't pick up on the article yet, it is McDonald's that is looking at using Snapchat to hire people. You know, people are talking all over like jobs. There's like no jobs. There's jobs everywhere. McDonald's is actually looking to hire like 250,000 people. Yeah, burger flippers that you get hired through Snapchat. Humanity's reached an all-time low. I mean, come on. But I'll let you guys in a little secret. The reason I know so much about the potential, like I said, million likes. I'll share the truth about aliens because I will tell you that I have joined the reptilian alien race. I've done it. Because I just got so sick of it. It was the funniest thing on the crazy social commentary type scene. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. If you happen to be in Madrid, Spain, apparently, no more manspreading. Sorry. I just kind of decided I was going to join the reptilian alien race. So, that's kind of where we are because, McDonald's now hires through Snapchat. There's lots of jobs out there. I mean, $8 an hour flipping burgers. But, hey, they might be $8.50. I don't know. But whatever. So, greetings, everybody. Hello, Daniel. Hello, and hello, Clayton. I would not work at McDonald's. Working at McDonald's is a not too bad of a first job. I've maybe it's a sign of my character or whatever else. But I've worked for a long time. I remember as early as 6th grade, I was helping the local newspaper guy stack newspapers, pick up the newspapers from the stores. I got a job in 7th grade. My job was to open and close the local little mall, and I got $5 a day, $2.50 in the morning, $2.50 in the evening to go and unlock the mall every morning and lock the mall every night. Walk through it, make sure there was nobody roaming around through the hallways, the bathrooms, whatever else. I've always worked, but the first, quote, real job where you went in and you punched a time clock and you flipped burgers, took orders, all the basic rat race type beginnings of the crazy jobs was at a Burger King. And I want to say I got hired at out of $5 something an hour, like $5.25, I think, an hour about what I got. In fact, I don't even think it was that. I think it was like $5 an hour is what I got hired at. I think that was my first job. But, as you go through life, the more dedicated you are to getting your work done, it's shocking that more success will seem to stumble upon you. As we get off of our pure entertainment and work towards being productive, sometimes the production is not always a monetary production. Sometimes it's and sometimes the hobby things we do can turn into monetary production. That's kind of the way it goes. But Snapchat for job applications at McDonald's is a little crazy. Hello, Vinicius. 18, got my first job repairing iPhones last month. Sweet, very cool. Hello, Jeremiah. I would work at McDonald's for about 6 to 8 months and then apply for something better while I have that one. Yeah, that's, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I worked there at Burger King through the end of high school into the first year of college. I think it was after the first year of college, in the summer there, that I worked 2 jobs. I worked at Burger King and then I worked at a Taco Bell. And then I left Burger King for a bakery job that hired quite a bit more. I've had a lot of experience on the work. as it went through. And then I left that, went off to, to do other things. But, it's just we got to work as a society. We can't look at McDonald's or Burger King as beneath us. We have to get those experiences. But if you're a person if you are a person who runs a household, you just can't afford to live on that. And no, bumping the minimum wage to $15 an hour is not going to help, by the way. But you have that kind of stuff. Easier to get hired at a higher pay when you already have a job. Yeah, it's a lot of what happens is if you go into a job interview and you desperately need a job, it smells like you're desperate, and you won't get as good of a job if you get a job at all. And so you have to keep that in mind. So that's kind of the start. Again, you can go from there. So with the articles I picked out today, I picked out one that I just thought was quite hilarious. I'm simply calling it Stupidity on Steroids. And then I picked out 3 articles for evil tech. And then I picked up some bad business, all tech-related business things. And then I picked up some scary business. Then we actually are going to end in a somewhat positive note with some good business. Some things, 2 articles that came out that I looked at and said, okay, that's pretty cool. And then we have one article under the topic of okay then.
Hello, everybody. I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.
Kitty wants to come up and say hi to everybody. All right, so he's going to sit here and shed all over the place. I will not be able to talk for a while here. But anyway, let's go ahead and we'll go ahead here and jump in to the first of the articles. Now, I think the kitty is settled. Let's see. There, the kitty is settled. He's like, oh yeah, I'm chilling. He'll be here for the next while. In fact, if I do this, I might be able to get him to lift his paw. Hey, you. Oh, you want the... Oh, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and start having a look at some of our websites. This guy here's the Stupidity on Steroids. Fresno Man Arrested. Now, there's some interesting things that we need to ask ourselves. And this came up in... has come up in a few different places, but why is it that people that do these crazy, little cyber crimes, why are their punishments so much higher than people who are in jail for, rape and murder? It's the guy who ran the Silk Road got life in jail. Now, they justified it almost in a way by saying, but he was potentially making death threats, but they never brought any of those charges against him. All of that guy's charges, Dread Pirate Roberts' charges, were for running the Silk Road, an online market. That marketed some illegal things, but why does that guy need life in prison when rapists can get out in a few years? That's the scary part. So this man here, a Fresno man, he was arrested on federal copyright violations. And he's this dangerous criminal. They brought him in leg irons. What did he do? Well, he did illegally do something. He apparently it said here that right after the movie was in the theater, or I'm not sure if it was right after the movie was in the theater or if it was after the movie was on DVD, but he took a copy of the movie and he put it up on Facebook. So now this begs the other question is some people are looking at all of what the social media are doing, and it's the UK right now is trying to hold the social media liable for, terrorist activity. Why isn't the social media group liable for this copyright infringement? I mean, it was their platform he used to put it up there. Something to think about. But he did do something stupid. He posted the full Deadpool movie up on his Facebook page. 5 million people were able to view it. And they only charged him with 100 counts, but $25,000, saying 100 counts of retail violation. And, I did some math. 100 counts, $25,000, $250 per retail copy? I really don't think Deadpool retails at $250. Am I wrong about this? Or is the copyright rule way out there somewhere? This is worse than slaughtering puppies in the street. The copyright rules. And our copyright rules are totally out of control. I am for copyright. But I am for a DRM free distribution. Now, this guy broke all the laws. This is stupidity on steroids, because this idiot, he illegally took a copy of the movie, and then, like, if you're going to illegally take a copy of the movie, don't put it up on Facebook. You're asking to go to jail. Oh, boy. So, anyway, that guy's stupid on steroids. Wow. 1898 here. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where it's the most expensive in the country, but I don't think $250 is it. Now, I will tell you this, as somebody who knows a lot about, like, the movie rental industry, way back when the movie rentals came out, oftentimes the movie rentals would come out a week in advance, and they literally were $100, $200 to buy a copy that you're allowed to put in rental, because the copies you would buy as a rental are different than the copies you would buy at the retail store. And I actually have a lot of these, because when I used to live in a town, like literally just until a couple years ago, I lived in a town, we still had a place you can go and rent DVDs. It was kind of weird. You can go rent the DVDs. Well, after they had, they would buy up, 30 copies of the most popular movie, probably at $250 a piece, rent them out for 6 months. But after 6 months' time, when they're no longer in high demand, they would sell off most of their copies. And so I could buy the previously viewed old rental DVDs for, a third of the price of the full retail. And so I bought a lot of those. So I have a lot of rental copies. The only annoying thing about the rental copies is you could not fast forward through the previews. It was really annoying. So I can understand that, but it depends on when this is out. I mean, that might have legitimately been $250. But does anybody do the rental business anymore? That's another question. But regardless, it's a little crazy. All right. Oh, boy. Watching your live stream since the last weekly news roundup, pretty good. Well, thank you. Yeah, I try and do 3 live streams a week, kind of newsy focused things, and then I do the Linuxy things. I don't usually do those live in case something weird goes on, but Australia government gives crap about its people, posts copyrighted content to his personal Facebook. Wow, another level right there. Yeah, and that's exactly why I called that article Stupid on Steroids. Oh boy. On to evil tech. Let's see. Where's my evil tech? There's my evil tech view. On to some evil tech. I pulled out 4 articles. Now, this first one here, I didn't actually encounter this anywhere except my own stuff as I was working through this. So if you've been logging into any Google accounts recently, you'll know you've had a little pop-up on there going, we're going to change our login screen. It's going to be more secure. No, it's not. It's less secure. They've changed your login screen. And if you didn't do this, like if you stay logged into your Google account here, what you should do is log out of your Google account, clear your cache, and then go to log back in and see what the difference is. Here's the difference. When you used to log in, you would type in your name, you'd type in like your username, you'd type in your password, and then there was a box under it. And it said, remain logged in, and it was auto-checked, which was very annoying. And I'd always uncheck the stupid box because I don't want anything to say auto-logged in except for Chromium on 2 computers that I have. Especially like in my development computer, I might log into any one of 5 or 6 different Google accounts because of, I'm logging into other people's Google accounts. I need to manage one of the companies I work with. I need to manage one of their Google for Work app accounts. Sometimes I need to manage, users, groups, and those types of things. And these are all different Google accounts I do for work. And so I always check that box. So what's the difference? Well, there's nothing more secure about it. Well, you first enter your name and then you click next. And then you have a password. There's nothing that adds any extra security to this whatsoever. All they did, effectively, is remove that little box. And guess what that means, people? You are perpetually logged into your Google account unless you intentionally go up and log out. More tracking cookies. Keeping you perpetually logged in. When is keeping you perpetually logged into an account a good thing? What if your bank did that? We're going to make your account more secure. We're going to keep you perpetually logged in. But the fact of the matter is they want you perpetually logged in because it gives them a better way to track who you are. Google, stop it. They actually say at the bottom of the thing, if you look at the new Google login, if you are on a different computer, it's not like, are you not on your own computer? Click here. They literally say, if you're not on your own computer, use a private window. You know that most people don't know how to open a private window in Firefox or Chrome or Chromium? Okay, maybe you should learn, but at the same time, why are you forcing people to go over and use a private window? You want them to not do that so they can get logged in. So this is actually kind of their forum topic. New sign-in page is missing the check, uncheck, stay signed in. So when I sign in, it keeps me signed in, which I do not want. It does not make sense that my Google experience easier or faster to have to go through multiple steps to sign out and stay that way. Please fix this. So, of course, Google's new description of sign-in pouts how much more secure it supposedly is. What are we, brain-dead morons? I'm not. Jeez. There is nothing more secure about a user unintentionally staying signed into their account because they forget to click the sign out button before they close their browser. Real security is your bank's account's website where signing you out of it may have been inactive for a few minutes. This is the opposite of that. Obviously, that level would be an obnoxious level for an email account, but still the default should not be that the user remains logged in indefinitely. Hello! I agree. Wow. Browser deletes all the cookies every time I close it, so I don't care about the box. Yes, that's always good. And I looked at the option and I ran it that way for a while. Actually, I also ran the super cookie cleaner, but man, it actually got annoying because of now every other website and its stupid brothers wants you to log in and then give me a security question. Why? So the hacker can steal more data? I'm telling you, people, we need to get smart about internet security. Having more things. And then all of these stupid things is like, what's your grandmother's maternal name? What's your grandmother's? Okay, your mother's maternal name is the least secure thing for the last 10 years because of the stupid thing called Facebook where everybody gets put in there by their mother's maiden name. And then you have all of the same things. My mother's maiden name, my grandfather's first occupation, my blah, 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 blah. I have a conspiracy theory. Where is my hat? I need my hat. I need my tinfoil hat. Because I really think all of these companies that are all owned by the same thing are trying to take those answers, cross-link them, cross-referencing them, A, gather more information about us, and B, determine who is using what accounts. These extra layer of security questions makes things worse, not makes things better. Why? Why, people? Why? They added higher site encryption than yes, more secure. Totally agree with your gripe. Yeah, I don't think they had more site security. I didn't see anything more secure. Because I search up that stuff, I don't want people to see my search history. Yeah, well, that's what they want. They want to collect your search history. Hey, Piggy, no, I'm just kind of griping about the first thing, which wasn't technically a news article, just something I found on Google today, and it's driving me crazy. 17 minutes late. Yeah, I spent the first 5 minutes talking about, jobs and work and stuff, so that's pretty cool. All right. Fire. Okay. What's your social security number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Would you like me to repeat that? Yeah. Okay. Just checking. Every time I use the computers in my school, there's a Google account logged in. Oh, that's the most fun. What you should do then, once logged in, go over there and just wreak havoc on that thing. Maybe eventually they'll get the point. Oh boy, oh boy. Of course, Google's not out of the woods yet. We got another Google article up. Got to go up to the top here. There's apparently some Google Play adware that just won't die. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this still. I've read through this article a few times. I'm trying to get to the very bottom of this because, like, I really don't use apps, and so I'm having a hard time completely grasping this. So there's a series of apps, like 40 of them right now, that are using a specific ad library that continuously gives you pop-ups all over your screen. Like, where's Ryan? He downloads all these apps. Somebody go find Ryan. He's late for class. But basically, the library supports Android 2.3 up through 6. But if you're on Android 5 or 6, there's 47 different apps here. A few of them have been removed from the Google Play Store, but not all of them have. And as you download them, they keep on restarting and reworking themselves. So if you install the app, I'm not sure what would possess one to install an app called Snap-Pick College Color Splash. I think that's just like, give me the dice. I just think they picked 5 random words. Does anybody see the logic of this? Snap-Pick Collage Color Splash, huh? But anyway, it has ads, whatever. I guess, I don't know. Alexa, how does this dress look? You know, I don't know. But anyway, once the app is installed, you'll get pop-ups right on your home screen. Awesome! I really want more stupid ads all over the place. And what's worse than all of the ads is all of these crazy nebulous third-party ad networks. I don't know who they are, but they're scooping up all my data. I'm all over it. So you go and you find the app and you force it to stop. You wait a few seconds and it does it again. So here's what happens once it's dropped. So Android 5 and 6, it does this. So it runs the code, it creates a file and then locks the file. And then each process creates another file. And it always keeps on checking back. And it just keeps re-kicking the file. Now, here's the thing that I was not interested in here. It says, this is the VerySwarp app. It auto-downloaded on my mobile. I tried to delete, uninstall the app, but it re-downloaded again. So I'm not sure if, did this person download the app to begin with the first time? And then like, okay, this thing is stupid. What was I thinking? Did I leave my phone unlocked and my roommate downloaded some stupid app on my phone? Whatever. And then delete the app and then it keeps coming back. So now we have to introduce a new security term, a PUA on Google Play. Somebody, is there a musically inclined person? Write a song. PUAs on the Google Play. Yeah, I'm not getting there. But here, now potentially unwanted apps. Now I have to fight potentially unwanted apps on my stupid smartphone. At what point in time will we just go back to like dumb phones? Dumb phones. So, yeah, so here's a few that are on here. So if you would really like to play with one of these, there you go. So defensive measures, of course, download our app. Yeah. No, Sophos. Here's my defense measure. I got rid of my Android. That's what I did. Oh, boy. Leaving to my house tomorrow, downloaded movies for VLC, ready for trip back, and you're live streaming. Great timing. All right. Sick of those ads by Google that mimic the download button. Oh, I know. They should be banned. Download here. Especially you go onto like a SourceForge page and there's 6 download buttons. It's like, roll the dice. Which one's the run? So Android's going to be more like Windows. Nice. Yeah, and this is the problem is that this is the kind of stuff that we're going to start seeing on the Windows because, like, the Windows Store, they're being a whole lot less discerning than Google is. Like, yeah, that's going to be scary. Windows 10S, this is going to be secure. No, it won't. No, it won't. No, not at all. If Alexa said, you look ugly every time, I would buy it for everyone. Nice. I own Alexa, and it kept turning on out of nowhere. I crushed it with a hydraulic press. Sweet! Do you have a video of that? That'd be awesome. Hey Alexa, would you like to die? No, I got Alexa and ain't nothing gonna stop me now. Except maybe my innate inability to progress continuous thunk. Hey Alexa, buy unicorn meat. Oh boy. Okay, here's one. Since we're on mobile phones, here's one that we can chat about a little bit. Something to be aware of. This is like public awareness. Public awareness. So now there is a new hack going around. It was first observed, I don't know, February-ish. No, January, I think, of this year, and it's kind of moving moving up higher in the list. So if you do have a smartphone and you go to a website, and let me see, let me go to Ars Technica, for example. So if you go to Ars Technica's website, and hopefully we can see this zoom in or not. I'm not sure if it's going to focus. But of course the address bar, and I'm on Firefox here. So the address bar will resolve and show you the domain name. Well, what some people are now doing as a phishing tactic, and it's believable, I'll tell you the source of these. Primarily these are targeting Facebook, but other ones have been seen from Craigslist, iCloud, and OfferUp. Not heard of OfferUp. But what they're doing is they are registering the domains, or actually not even really registering the domains as much. They're doing a lot of weird finagly stuff in DNS records, altering DNS records, or adding these to pre-existing other domains. So they're going in there, dropping in some DNS redirects, and creating an account, and they seem to be targeting specifically mobile browsers where this is the domain name. There's a series of dashes that you might miss, and then it goes to something else. But what ends up happening on the phone is everything after a certain point of time is cut off, and you think you're on Facebook. So you got to watch out for this one. Because, of course, one of the things that is handy to do if you get an email is hover over it to see where that link is. Like the latest one, I used to get WhatsApp ones all the time. It's like, I have never had a WhatsApp account. I don't want a WhatsApp account, especially now that Facebook owns WhatsApp. I definitely will not get a WhatsApp account. Not at all. WhatsApp? Not me. But what's going on then is you could hover over the link, and except I found in Mac, it's really hard to do. Windows and Linux, no problem, but on Mac, really hard to hover over the link in the email and see it. Mac's just like, click here, click here. We don't want to mess up our beautiful, perfect, pristine UI with a link. No. But you hover over the link and you can see where it's going. And so it's like, you have a new WhatsApp message. No, I don't. Well, I don't get the WhatsApp ones anymore. Now it's onto the Amazon links. So now I'm getting constantly like 5 or 6 of them a day, little links in my inbox, like, you have a new Amazon, whatever. No, it's like, and so you hover over the link and like, nah, yeah, I didn't think so. But what's going on is they believe that these are being distributed through text messages because in a text message, you cannot verify the link. Let me see if you can verify the link or not. So basically, they're using these in like URL shorteners. And with URL shorteners, let me see if I can find a URL shortener. Let's see. I know I sent somebody a link, but I think I might have sent it on... Yeah, I sent that link on email. But what you can't do is if it's in a text message, you can't actually go in and verify where the link goes to. And of course, if it's a shortened URL and somebody sends you a link in an inbox to a shortened URL, the biggest challenge and danger with URL shorteners is you have no idea where the link is going. You can potentially make an assumption, but you have no idea where the link is going. And that's kind of a danger. And so, like, it's getting to that point where it's like, I don't really want to click on a link unless I can see and verify what it is. So it's good that, like, Amazon has their own URL shorteners, YouTube has their own URL shorteners. But if you get a URL shortener with, like, Bitly or something, I wouldn't use it because you don't know what's on the other end of that. But that's estimated that that's what's going on. But this is what this looks like. So they're phishing accounts. You get the link, and it takes you to this page here, which does look very much like the Facebook login page, at least I'm told. I don't go there. But you can see up here, I mean, we on this channel who watch this channel might be tech savvy enough to see these dashes, but maybe not. And your average user, nope. They're going to miss this. So this is a phishing scheme. You put in your username, put in your password, and now they have accomplished in stealing your login credentials. So never, ever, ever click the link in the email, click the link in the text message, click the link on some random place, and assume that it's going to the proper website. Okay? Here's the OfferUp, which I don't know. What is OfferUp? I have no idea. Is this like some devil worshipping site? I offer up this poor kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. You're going to be offered up. He's not amused. So that's kind of like, be careful on all of that kind of stuff. Looks like I have a lot of comments here. Let's see. Hello, early Kyler, I guess that is. Well, now I got an Alexa. Okay, gonna stop me now. Okay. Let's see. Use the internet instead of apps. Yes. Hey Alexa, sing a song. Way to lose friends. What? I could picture now everyone cursing at Tom for calling Alexa. No. It's my task. Alexa, order more unicorn meat. Order some macaroni and cheese, Alexa. I don't know. By the way, I keep on saying unicorn meat because it's like really expensive last time I looked. Greetings, Demiano. How are you? How is north of the border there, Demiano? Downloaded this button to scam people. Get this button for virus. Nice! Cue that soundbite when the shark from Jaws shows up. Need Pidgey for Android to replace WhatsApp, Facebook, etc. Yeah, Pigeon, yeah, absolutely. Phishing scammers are the worst kind of hackers because they never evolve from being a script kitty. Websites that have ads that show up when you hover over certain words. Yeah, actually, I hate those so much. I blocked every one of their ad networks on my router level, and so on my home network I don't get any of those at all. Those things so frustrate me. I blocked them all on a router level, so nowhere in my network do those ad networks access any of my systems. App to sell stuff on. Oh, okay. I thought it was an app to offer up sacrifices to the devil or something. Okay. No, the kitty won't be sacrificed. No, kitty will be just fine. He will be just fine. Oh boy. Another interesting one. This is a type of viruses going around. They found it in financial institutes and in restaurants right now. Basically, it is a fileless malware that is. Basically, it operates in memory. Now, it's not totally fileless. It does use files, but the files that it uses, they call external scripts and load the malware into memory. So it's a way that a file can be on a computer that doesn't look malicious to an antivirus system. So these antiviruses don't pick these up. So what happens, and they highlight this, this is from the Fin7 hacking group. So what's going on these is that the person receives the phishing email. So in this case, they're really well written for restaurants who do catering. So you can see that the email comes from this person. It's to this restaurant regarding catering. Hi, my name is Adrian Clark. I want to make a catering order for tomorrow, 11 a.m. It's a big one for 14 people. Yeah, if you're in catering, a big one is not 14 people. But anyway, I've composed a list of what we'll need. Enclosed to the file containing the catering information, and it looks like they are finally hiring people who can actually write in English, because I'm not seeing the classic Indian, like, you know, we is catering for 14 peoples, you know. But then we have a RTF. This is probably a weird sign in itself. Like, who uses RTF anymore? That's like so 1990s. So it's an RTF file here. I assume it could run a docx or something else. I don't know. And then what happens is all you have to do is open the file. And then what happens is instead of activating this .exe file, which is now being successfully blocked by most antivirus, including, hopefully, Windows Defender, instead of doing that, it loads instead an obfuscated JavaScript code. JavaScript is scary. In fact, if you did not watch, Brian Lunduke did a video, I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday. I think he released it Thursday. I think he recorded it Wednesday, released it Thursday. And it is, I think it was something like why the World Wide Web sucks or something like that. Watch that video because he talks a lot about websites, web design, and looking at a lot of these other things. But it's this JavaScript, by the way, is going to kill us. JavaScript is going to kill us. Okay, so JavaScript turns on it. And what the JavaScript does is it downloads a simple text file and it drops it into your user. Of course, guess what? This is on Windows. Yeah, us guys on Linux probably won't be affected by this. But those poor saps that are still selling their soul to Microsoft will probably be fine, be encountered by this. So it drops a random text file in here. And then the random text file generates another text file, and somehow those two together are making tens of thousands of DNS pings. And then what it's doing is instead of downloading a malicious file to the computer, which an antivirus system would find as malware, instead what happens is it loads the thing into memory and then removes what it loaded. And so these run actively in memory. But apparently the text files get here, and guess where it remains? Where it remains to kick off every 25 minutes to make sure that it's always running. Flash, because Flash is like totally rocks, you know. And so with Flash, it has a persistent cookie in Flash that keeps triggering the first text file to trigger the second text file to restart the cascade to make sure this program is constantly running in memory. So you can be running this constantly in memory malware that an antivirus system will not find, but it's not one, because it's persistently showing up in these Flash cookies, it's not one that is going to be shut down by a lot of this fileless malware. Simply by rebooting the computer, you can get rid of it. But this has that retrigger. So you got to make sure your Flash cookies are removed, your text file is removed, and you're rebooting the computer. And so I used, which one is it? It's like Better Privacy or something, a Firefox extension that will clear all macro Flash cookies. Best thing is disable Flash if you need to use Flash at all and you have it on your computer. Completely disable it until the very one site where you need it. That's going to prevent a lot of these attack vectors. This became a significant point because I talked yesterday in my video yesterday about MX 16.1 came out. They removed their MX Flash and replaced it with Adobe Flash. Auto-installed, auto-activated. Oh boy. And then some people were like, it's not necessarily, no, it's bad. It's bad. Okay. Flash is not something you need to be running on your computer unless you absolutely need it to be running. Script Kiddie evolved in a hacker. Not very effective. It's not very effective. It depends on if he's trying to learn or not. Good. It was raining for 30 minutes ago. I decided to log on and attend, watch. New virus smells like government. Yeah, it kind of does. Actually, I believe this is a known Russian group, I believe. Oh, actually, at the bottom of the article, I think, is where they define who the group actually is. Nope, it was a different article. I have a lot of hacks I read this week, so it does. Fritos supports RTF. Watch the video. CC Cleaner and BleachBit. Yes, CC Cleaner on Windows, BleachBit on Linux. You can clear those cookies out. If you don't want to run those again, run that Better Privacy plugin from Firefox. It's a very good job if you're using Firefox. Different views, OpenJDK. Well, that is that is Java, not that is replaces Oracle's Java, not Adobe Flash. Completely different programs. Let's see. Linux users use slash for tree, not C slash. Yep. That's why I think that I'm not sure if this thing would affect Linux because of that. Flash, the Swiss cheese of interweb. Yes, it is the Swiss cheese of interweb. All right, well, that is bad business. Let's see, do I have something for bad? That was evil tech. Now let's do bad business. I think I'll use my corporatocracy one for bad business. These aren't necessarily corporatocracy, but we're getting close. I see I cut off part of my image. Oh, well, I'll fix it another day. Or actually, if I just do one of these, that might fix it. Go this way. Little bit. There we are. Fix that a little bit. All right. These are not technically corporatocracy, but it's the best one I have for bad business. I want to change around my backgrounds a little bit here. So yeah, Uber again. Like it was like a roll of the dice. There are like 6 Uber articles this week to deal with. You know, from their board requiring their idiot CEO to take a leave of absence for a while to this case here. There's some other scary things, and we're gonna get into some really freaky stuff here later on too. It might be next. I can't remember. But basically a rape victim sues Uber. So basically, this is one of those earlier rape cases against Uber. And what they end up doing is they grabbed illegally obtained a copy of the woman's medical records to discredit her, carried around with them for a year, showing it to a whole lot of people. Yeah, they're being sued for that one. So, I mean, and this company is like, please, can we just like get rid of these guys? They're just like, at what point in time does a company get so bad that we can just shut them down? Just shut them down. These people like slime balls all the way. So basically, here we have, this is, let's see if there's anything else I didn't actually say in here. Yeah. The suit describes Uber's recent wave of PR woos as its, quote, unrestrained, unethical executives at length saying, absent public pressure from reporters and publications like the New York Times, Reuters, and Recode, Uber would have to continue to reward and promote employees who were unlawfully discriminating against subordinates and brushing complaints of discrimination under the proverbial rug. Yeah, that was the other one I didn't mention, is all of the fake things like the discrimination, the sex parties. Just remember, every time you call an Uber, a poor little kitty like this gets offered up on offer up. We don't want that to happen to poor kitty. Yeah, this company's just out of control. Of course, I think, oh, yeah, I know I've read that. No, I'm not buying an ad-free copy of your silly thing. Netflix is getting a little out of control. Not as much, but at least the good news is they have decided to come back and rejoin the net neutrality. Like, apparently their executives are not completely totally centered, just mostly self-centered. Netflix, if you recall, it became a big deal a few months back. Netflix is like, you can now download movies to the app. They expire after 48 days, and you can only download them a certain number of times, and it's a nebulous quantity how frequently you can actually download them. So basically, they are putting limits on how many times you can download certain content. They're not telling you exactly how many times. It's until you suddenly get this thing, oh, this title's going to be downloaded one more time. Would you like to download it now? Yeah, this is a little slimy. But anyway, Netflix is doing this to allow basically, and this is for me, this is, for me, it's just getting like so bad that realize that we do not buy movies anymore. Like, I could do an entire other video on this. Would be very related to the tinfoil hat time I did 2 weeks ago on looking at the battle with DRM. And basically what I said over there doing battle with the DRM is that what's the challenge that we're starting to see is that we don't even buy movies anymore. If you have a Kindle and you buy things on a Kindle, you're not actually buying the book. You're buying a license to read the book. Okay, I'll pay $10 for a digital copy of a book as long as I own the digital copy of the book. That means that I own it on more than the device I have. That means I own it. You don't limit what I can do with it. I can open it on this computer. I can open it on that computer. I can put it in my backup files. So if I have some catastrophic data loss, I can go to my catastrophic data backup list, recover my book that I paid for. But we don't buy books anymore. We license them. And it's becoming the same way with movies anymore. So with the movies, this is just a case where you don't buy the movies on Netflix. This is a model where you are perpetually, I'm looking for the video right now. Coupling it. There we go. So you are perpetually paying them a monthly fee for access to view the content, but you can't download it. You can't take it offline with you. You can't save it. So it's like if I go out and but what makes it all worse, if I can go out and buy a DVD and the technology exists to make a digital copy for my own personal use, that in of itself is illegal. So here's actually, if you missed it, the video on doing battle with DRM. And I'm going to go ahead and add a card to the video here. All right. There we are. So that's kind of what Netflix is kind of doing there. Let's see. Flash gets trash. Yep. Half the reason I use 45% open source apps. Let me find my comments here. I'm going to dig through the comments for a few minutes. Let's see. Half the reason I use 45% open source apps on my phone, VLC, Firefox. I think Dropbox is open source. I wouldn't use. Yeah, I have gripes against the Dropbox company. In fact, on my iPhone, I use the Mail app, but outside of that, in the messaging app, calling app, camera, but outside of that, I don't do much on my phone, but for my web browsing, I use Firefox. For music, I use VLC. For reading, I use ebooks. And actually, that's about all the apps I've really downloaded. I really don't do a whole lot on my phone, But yeah, I'd stick with those open source apps. And I went with the ebooks because it's a Russian-based program, but at least it's an open source program. FB Reader is working on an iOS app that I cannot wait for it to be out. But in the meantime, on iOS, I'm using ebooks. Android devices, I'm using FB Reader, and way better than Kindle because, open source, free, and you can use your DRM books. Of course, if you buy your library on Kindle, you're likely locked by DRM. There's a way you can tell that, though. Somebody tell Barry Allen his pseudo persona is being used for evil. Uh-oh. Reddit is open source. Uber had a fuburial. Uber will lose that case for sure. It's illegal here for Uber to operate. No Uber service. Good. We need to have more places like that. Hello, Anarita. How are you? By the way, Debian 9 is released tomorrow. I should check it out. I will check it out. I looked at the alpha a while back, or was it the beta? I forget which one it was. It was very good back then. Mark Yates, hello. Any company that uses Snapchat to interview for a job, I would view it as unprofessional and wouldn't care to work for them anyway. Well, it's McDonald's, so, Uber, terrible company. Yes, Netflix for Pokemon only for me. There you go. All right. Same with the Steam games. Yeah, that's a big challenge with the Steam games. And, You know, I'm pondering that. Like, I have 2 games on an Xbox 360 that I actually play, and so I'm like, do I want to, like, I'd like to just get a PC copy because I'm always going to have computers laying around of those games and just dump them, and I'm curious if I can get those working on Linux. Nobody's answered me that question yet. If you know, Borderlands 1 and the first Black Ops. Those are the only 2 Xbox 360 games I actually have and play. So can I get a PC version of those working on Linux? Anybody know that off the top of your head? Steam is way more honest. Okay. Heck no, I don't buy anything with DRM. Absolutely not. Hate being so negative, but this is what the world gave us. Yep, absolutely. And again, watch that. Watch the Why the World Wide Web Sucks by Brian Lunduke. Released it yesterday-ish. And he talks not only about why JavaScript is going to kill us, but why DRM is going to kill us as well. Excellent video. Go watch that. You're not actually buying games. That's the problem with Steam. Yep. No Netflix anymore, just expensive, plus not good shows, not the ones I like, therefore. I buy the TV show box and burn it to hard disk, and I can watch it anytime without the need of the internet. Sweet. I used Spider Oak for one cloud backup, have for years. Cool. How's Spider Oak work? Like, I know essentially what it is, but does it work well for you is the question. Besides, Netflix service in Canada is different than the US. Yeah, and how dare you use Tor to get a US exit node to watch the US version. Oh, McDonald's, that's a different story. What? Were you expecting professionality? Linux distro missed me as Robo Linux with hidden gotchas. A couple people have told me about Robo Linux already. I gotta look that one up. It's not on my list, I don't think. I don't think it's on my list. Borderlands 1, yes, on Steam. Well, I've been told the Steam version is different, and I don't really want to buy stuff through Steam. Free, I'll try it. Buy, no. Play on Linux, Steam to play any Windows. You cannot play any Windows game, and Steam doesn't always work. Well, I got to see if I can get Steam to work, but Wine does not allow you to play any PC game. But I will have to try and get that to work. Let's see. Pay for my software where I can do so legally and have to get some support if I have problems. Yeah, that's fine. Steam on Wine and Borderlands 1 plays. Is the Steam different version different than the basic PC version? Is that true? I heard they're different, but I don't know. Play on Linux with Windows games. That's what I might try. I might just try and find a basic PC version of the games and just run them on Play on Linux. Just build a completely separate Linux build just to play games. That's what I'd want to do. Fast as it used to be years ago, but they have more users. Hangs his head in shame. There you go. Getting all loose. All right. Let's get back to some bad business here. This is funny. This just, wow, right along the same lines. And I'm looking at this going, okay. This is just Hollywood producers gone out of control, apparently. So, Sony is now selling censored movies, and Hollywood is mad. So, basically, if you watch a movie on airplanes and on television, they have to be, quote, edited for television. You know, they get rid of all of those weird words and, you know, and all of the violence and all that other crazy stuff and things like that. So what happens there is, you know, you already have these edited for television versions. So what Sony is doing, and I didn't catch is this, it's got to be like through an app or whatever. I didn't catch what the app was. But a person who purchased a copy of a movie would also have available, in addition to having the full copy of the movie, would have available a copy of the movie that is edited for television. Doesn't cost anything extra. It's an extra add-on. They're not charged more, not charged less, but they buy the movie, assumingly probably a DRM locked movie that plays through a specific app. They get the full crazy movie that's full of all the FUs and exploding body parts, or they can get the clean made for TV version. And the Hollywood producers are getting mad about this. I don't understand. Can somebody explain this to me like I'm a 3-year-old? I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay? Because Hollywood producers are getting their movie. They're getting their payment. They're getting their payment for whatever it is. The person gets to buy the content, but it's kind of like that whole, do you remember the old, it wasn't old, but it was a fairly recent thing. I'm not sure if they still exist or if they went defunct or not, but it was like Angel Flicks or something. I don't know. It was some like Netflix clone where you could edit your own stuff. BitAngel, I think it was called. Or VidAngel, I think. It was supposedly like a Christian. Like, anytime I start seeing Christian around all these business things, I start to get scared. Like, they're moving into the culture. Okay, so you start to see these things, and you could buy the movie, and then you could edit and crop the movie out. So the idea is a Christian family who cares about their content their kids would watch would buy the movie, and then they could go through and they could cut all the bad scenes out of the movie, based upon cut out on the F words, cut out, whatever, and then you could play the movie in a family-friendly environment. So it is an interesting concept. I'm not downplaying that. I just like picking on the Jesus junk of the world. But regardless, this is that same basic thing. I have no idea why they're mad. The Hollywood producers are getting their money, and the people are getting what they want. If the people are wanting movies that are clean, maybe that should put up a big old light bulb in front of Hollywood. Oh. People are wanting to buy a copy of the movie where all of these F words are edited out. Shocking. Maybe the Hollywood producers and the Hollywood actors' viewpoints are not the central viewpoints of the whole wide world. I don't get this, but this is hilarious to me. I do not get it. Oh boy, are we ready to start beating down some Microsoft? Let's look at some comments real quick before we start getting into the Microsoft beatdown. It's straightforward, just makes sense, it performs well, easy to select backup when you want. You can have multiple machines on one account. Okay, all right. Got a Windows game to work though. Yeah, I'm hearing some people are it's easy. Some people it's hard. I don't know, because I just really don't play video games much enough to play with it yet. But I don't know, eventually. Yeah, maybe if I can't get it to work, I'm going to get a hold of you, Piggy, and ask you for some help there. But I got to try it first, I guess, is what I got to do. Unless there are different platforms for the games. Steam looks the same to me on Linux, except you need to buy the games for Linux instead of on Windows. Yeah, I think what Piggy was saying though is that it is possible to run the Windows version of Steam on Linux through Wine or Play on Linux, and then that would allow you to run the Windows versions of the games. So. Some people are saying you can easily do that. Some people are saying it's hard to get working. That's kind of what the question is. So if you can get the Windows version of Steam working on Linux through Wine, then you could run the Windows versions of the games. But if you're just going to be more of a purist, get Steam and get Linux versions of the games. And so there's some interplay there but I'm looking into all of those things because I did check, and Borderlands is not available on the Linux for Steam. Like it does not have a native Linux version for Steam. Otherwise I might have already tried it. Laptop is Core 2 Duo. All I play is Minecraft and light games. Yeah. A little different. Borderlands 1 does work on Steam though, through Wine as well. Okay, good. Awesome. They're mad about it because they didn't come up with the idea first. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I'm thinking they're mad about it because you're censoring our viewpoints. These are our views. How dare you edit our movies? Girl brain. Sony is selling two versions, PG and M/R rated, to some To some, it is a good thing to spend family time together. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why it's like, I don't see why Hollywood cares. It goes all the way back to that whole thing. If I purchase a product, what can I do with it? Because, like, the way the law currently exists, suppose I go out and I buy a video, and I like the vast majority of it, but there's a few scenes I'd want to edit out for my kids. Well, in fact, let me put this in practical terms, because I remember when I was a little kid, Johnny Dangerously comes out, and of course there's the one scene, the one scene in the movie which is extremely benign by today's standards, but the one scene in the movie where all of us kids had to leave the room every time we watched Johnny Dangerously. You know, it was your testicles and you clip, if you recall that part. But in that part, you know, the parents would have us leave. So right now, if I go out to the store and I buy a copy of Johnny Dangerously on DVD, and I come home and I drop it in a computer and I rip it onto a digital file, and then I open my digital file in Kdenlive and I go to that section of the movie, which is like a 5-minute section of the movie, and I clip that out and I close it up and I reburn that onto a new DVD, and that's the one that we play when we watch the movie, so I have a perfectly edited copy. I have violated Section 1201 of DMCA, and now I could go to jail for 5 years and pay $1 million fine. Does that make any sense to anybody? See, here's the thing. If I buy something, I should have the full right to do with the object that I buy what I want. Whether that's fixing my John Deere tractor, putting a new screen on my iPhone, or copying and editing my own DVD for my own personal use. Now, once I'm starting to make a copy of it and distribute it, now we're under a different point of view. Okay, I agree that should be wrong and is wrong. And, you know, but what's going on? I don't know. Hollywood movies are becoming so lame and predictable. Yeah, this is the funny thing. Like, I have not seen an original concept for a movie in a long time. They're repackaging the same stories, doing new like, what are we on? The 17th Spider-Man franchise? Get over it. Okay? Get over it. Stop rebooting the same movies. We either have a reboot of a franchise or an expansion of a franchise. Like, that is it. I started counting them when I went to see movies. I only see like a couple movies a year, but when I go to see a movie, I count. What is the ratio of reboots versus reboots / franchise expansions versus new concepts? I have not seen a new concept of a movie for a long, long time. I'm getting bored with movies. Or I'm going back into the 80s and 90s movies and watching all those movies that I missed because at least they were original. Yeah, they're lame, they're predictable. It's all about all the special effects. And yeah. Wouldn't be nothing left but the title and the end credits. Yep. Rather watch foreign films on YouTube. Yeah, Microsoft. Run the same game on both Windows and Linux without problems. Awesome. Cool. That's good. That's encouraging news. Yes, that's correct. However, even with Wine, Windows still runs the game much better. Play on Linux offers more traditional, better experience. Can't seem to add a menu item, but it can add a desktop shortcut. Piggy Uniform, check out the video I did on, it's an older one back on my Kdenlive computer, because I actually have run games through Play on Linux, and I do have menu shortcuts for them. Let me verify that. I know I have a shortcut on my desktop. It's over here. You can't see my computer right now, but let me see if I actually have that. Not there. Looks like I did not put one in my menu. I should be able to on KDE, but I do actually have, I have one in a launcher, and so it should be able to, you should be able to do that. I'm pretty sure I did that. I don't remember if I went through how I do that. Play on Linux, run shortcut name. Why not just, yeah, absolutely, Ironclaw. Throw that in a text file and call the script from the menu. That's fine. That's doable. Any distro should be able to do just a basic script like that. PG version of the movies, more kids would want to buy it. And actually, PG-13 is the golden goose. PG-13 is where a lot of movies want to target to, because it widens up a wider audience without having to muddle it with parental permission. But it has enough of the bad elements that people want to buy it. I can't wait to finalize the manuscript and get the manuscript for the next book out I have. Like, the manuscript is done outside of like 2 or 3 edits. I really just need to sit down and do it, except I'm working on too many other books right now. It really covers a lot of the history in Hollywood and how that kind of stuff happened. Hardcore research in that thing. All right. Play on Linux is easier to manipulate with wine versus standalone and wine tricks. Yeah, I love Play on Linux way better than regular wine. And I believe it virtualizes it out, so stuff just can't run randomly. I think that's the case. Wine HQ usually has directions to get stuff to work. You kind of have to translate that for Play on Linux. That is also true. Favorite movies of all times was Ernest Scared Stupid. I saw that in the movie theater. I was in 7th grade when that came out. Me and my best friend Chuck at the time walked down to the movie theater in town. We watched Ernest Scared Stupid in the movie theater. I loved it. I have it on DVD, in fact. Is it Play on Linux a GUI for wine or something? Sort of. What it does is it allows you to create. What I really like about Play on Linux is it allows you. It envelopes wine inside of a GUI, but launches it in virtual situations. So it's not like you have wine nebulously on the computer. I don't think. But I could be wrong about that. But what I do know about it is when you create a Play on Linux box, you can customize each game. So like I play Warcraft 3, which on Play on Linux, it really works best with Wine 1.8, but like 1.9 or maybe more are out now. So I can set the Wine version for each individual game that I'm booting up a box for, and then each one goes inside of its own virtual environment. So it's because of that, it's actually a really sweet system. If you do spend any time with Windows games or Windows applications, instead of using Wine, look at Play on Linux. It totally rocks. Yeah, Gaming Gap has been closing. That is awesome, actually. Stepped away for a little bit. Had a couple things to do around the house. All right. Finished reading your book. And she loves it as she walks in to tell you. Yes. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will hopefully be having more out here. I'm doing a very, very, very quick plow through. I'm actually writing a parody of that horrible Christian book I read this week or last week. This week I'm working on a parody of it. First time I've ever written a parody. It's definitely an interesting, different train of thought than I'm used to. It's kind of a challenge, actually, to write a parody. But I'm working on a parody of that stupid book. That might be the next one I push out, just because it should be fast. Born in 84, we loved them growing up. Yeah. Ain't that right, Vern? That's right. Hey, Vern, it's Ernest. All right, let's get back to how bad Microsoft is. iFixit did a teardown of Microsoft Surface's brand new laptop. Man, this awesome laptop. So here's their entire teardown video. I did not watch the video, disclaimer. I did read the instructions here. So here we're going to take our laptop and we're going to tear it down. Lots of shielding. Already looks scary. Looks like we're going to see a lot of battery, a fan, and a beefy heat sink. So down here we have connectivity, looking at what the various stuff is. So here we're going to try and take the thing out. So we take a peek under those suspicious rubber foot pads to find metal feet instead of the screws we were hoping for. Nope, no screws. Looks like we'll have to peel up that dubiously luxurious stuff after all. So we start popping up clips, peeling adhesive. Already this does not feel like it's going to go back together. We try to remove the plastic covering. It's going to get a lot tougher. South of the keyboard. What's going on here? So we have to pull out the knife now to cut the rest of the pelt off. the layer underneath, we find a metal shield, which is the meat of the surface sandwich. Of more adhesive plastic bits holding the shields from beneath. Now we've got a clear look at the plastic. It seems we are not using reusable clips at all, but weak ultrasonic spot welds that have been busting through. This is not going to be put back together without a roll of duct tape. The keyboard plate firmly wrestled free of its sticky plastic jailers. We are at least pleased with the long cable connecting it to the body. Pleasure is short-lived. The connector is trapped under a clip on the shield of the motherboard, complicating its removal. Surprisingly not that uncommon with recent Surface devices. The keyboard is out. We begin to search for the trackpad. Presumably it's in here somewhere. Let's follow that cable trail. Oh boy. Trapped under some metal shielding. Nothing we haven't handled before. Take a moment. Get that thing off. And then what you'll see is the battery connector dispatch nowhere to be seen. Looks like we're going to be doing this live. Time to start pulling out parts. Pulling up the speakers. They're pretty good at speaking. Not exactly symmetrical. Let's see. First glance, the white dots appear to be water damage indicators. Upon closer inspection, they're actually port covers containing a damping foam, increasing the speaker's bass response. All right. So it looks like that's bass response. All right, so here, unsurprised to find an antenna nestled behind the plastic RF pass-through on the side of the case. Let's see, one there. Let's see if they give me anything else in here. 11 steps to get the battery out. Modular headphone jack is not charged with any crime. It's free to go, contacts and all. No Surface product is complete without a hinge, but this feels a little pedestrian compared to the other offerings. With that, the display is unhinged. So they finally get down to the bottom of it, and they give it a 0 for their score. This thing is completely not upgradable. In fact, let's read their final thoughts. Not meant to be opened or repaired. You cannot get inside without inflicting unrepairable damage. The CPU, RAM, and onboard storage are all soldered to the motherboard. No upgrades available. Headphone jack is modular, but only can be accessed by removing the heatsink, fan, display, and motherboard. So you're not changing that without breaking it. And the battery is difficult and dangerous to replace, giving the device a very limited lifespan. It has a 0 compatibility. Yep. Way to go, Microsoft. You have totally bought into Apple's stupid idea that we don't want you to fix anything. At least Apple gets a 1 on some of their products. But B, planned obsolescence. Awesome. Way to go, Microsoft. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I see we're getting some Microsoft hate. Some Microsoft hate. Oh boy. Oh boy. Boo, Microsoft. Pizza Warrior gets back on track. Yep. Getting there slowly. Microsoft using super glue now. Yep. Duct tape. We need MacGyver to put this thing back together. Microsoft becoming Apple. Not surprising. All about the money and power and the control. After all, they've gone for the message. Now go spend a ton of money on another unit. Yep. I mean, these things start at like $1,000. They want you to buy one every 1 to 2 years. Yep. Piece of junk laptop. Way to go. Yep. Comes with devices. I tend to stick with them more than 5 years or so. Yeah. I mean, my Windows 7 computer that I still do my work on, I'm not sure if there's an original piece in there other than the chassis. I have replaced, I think, everything in that computer. No, I've not replaced the motherboard either, or the processor. I've put 2 different fans in it. I burned out 2 processor fans already. I have upgraded all the RAM. I've replaced the screen once. I replaced the bezel, the hinges, the total top surface once. I think I've replaced the keyboard once. I'm on the original charger still. I did not replace the wireless card, but I know it's replaceable. So, I mean, the old computers, man, they weren't very easy to fix. Even my new Dells, I mean, I could get in there and fix a lot of it. I could upgrade a lot and fix a lot of it. But, you know, if this isn't bad enough, hey, their hardware is going to hell, so are their servers. So here, with their servers, they're moving on to the same model they're doing now with Windows 10, giving it a twice yearly feature upgrade. You can still get a long-term release, which lasts 3 years, but you got to pay a lot extra for that. This to me is scary because as a web developer who has had to build servers from scratch manually, I don't want server upgrades to be pushed. Definitely don't want. I definitely don't want feature upgrades. No, don't mess with my features. I include the features I need when I'm building my server. I don't include the features I don't need. I don't want anything extra. Anything extra could interfere with the code that is designed to go on that server. This is stupid. On a stick. Okay. But basically, they are launching that their new Microsoft servers, the only saving, redeeming grace about this is only like 10 to 15% of servers on the internet are Microsoft. But we're going to start to see some weird things because they're trying to push. This is not updates. This is not upgrades. This is feature upgrades, meaning we're adding new stuff. This, like, I don't want them to do anything automatic because I may not get to updating the server, but if I hear that there's a major security exploit in a server I'm running, I have a CentOS server running, okay, I hear about a big Linux upgrade, I will schedule my time to do it when I know that if I have to take an extra day to fix something stupid, I can do that. We don't have those options really. But yeah, Microsoft, they've screwed their hardware, they're screwing their software. I don't know what else is going on. This is kind of crazy. Business practices make me want to vomit. Yes. Excuse me, I had to vomit. The cat just like, what are you doing? It's okay, kitty. I think the neighbor's yelling through the walls again. I don't know. Anyway, one day I should like pound on the wall back. That'd be funny. See what happens. All right. So let's see. Next computer is going to be a i486 platform. Yeah. Let's see. MS Business Practices makes it. Okay. So the verdict right now is Microsoft's hardware is as good as their software. Yeah. Microsoft's hardware is as good as their software. That's right. Or rather, not good at all. They don't care about you or me. They want your money, and they don't care if it even works. So as long as it works, just good enough to avoid a lawsuit. Yeah, that's about it. YouTube really has got to fix these stupid comment feeds. Like, I lost where I was. I'm not going to be able to go back. All right. I'm going to do a video on some high-end desktop workstations running Linux. You know, the best one I can do is the one I cannot go out and buy extra computers. So what I got is what I can do things on. Fortunately, my workstation is pretty beefy and it has swappable hard drives. So, I mean, I could do some things like that. But yeah. Started with Windows 95 and a 286 Pentium with a 1980s screen. Yep. I remember those computers. Was it all green and black? It's cheaper for companies to run Windows Server and pay more up front than it is to running a Linux server as Red Hat or SUSE because you pay licensing through the nose. Yeah, but CentOS is free. Of course, you need somebody who knows how to maintain it, and that's kind of the difference. Every time I switch Kenny, you go, aw. Yeah, I know. He's cute. He's like, look at this. $200 amp speaker, teach him a lesson. Commodore 64 exclusive club. All right. It's like watching the 8-bit guy. All right. So let's see. This is a neat one here under bad business. I put this one under bad business here because it's like, okay, so this what lady is at a slot machine and she tells her, I mean, this is her with her selfie, $42 million printing the cash receipt. Casinos, I apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused, but the machine malfunctioned. What do they give her instead? A steak dinner and the $2 and something cents she had on the machine. $2.25. So instead of the massive payout, the New York casino instead allegedly awarded her with a steak dinner and a $2.25 balance she had on the machine when she thought she won it big. You know, slot machines anymore aren't. I mean, they used to be like a machine. It was statistical. Now they're all computerized. Yeah, you can control the computer code real easy. So I don't know. I have the sneaky suspicion that if you have a computerized slot machine like this and it has a glitch like this, I think you might be on the hook. Unless, now there was another case that had come through recently where so in this court here where the person had a malfunction machine, said that the woman got a $42 million payout, but on the starting screen, the initial start screen said that the maximum payout was $10,000. Now, I then didn't follow this case here. I hope that she got at least the $10,000. But, you know, if this screen did not have that initial thing, and there was no indication as what the maximum payout was, I think that this casino should very well be liable to pay her $42 million. That's my take. Yeah, guess what? Gambling's risky. It's a two-way street, buddy. Your machine fouled up. Unless if you had something at the beginning of the screen that you can prove, now we have an out. But if you didn't have that, I think that this woman's liable for $43 million from the casino. Because, hey, your machine screwed up. She was there to gamble. This is what she got. It's called gambling for a reason. You don't like the payout? Sorry. You'll have to, miss a Porsche payment or something, But that's kind of that. Let's think about something. So, all right. Let's see. Yeah, my brain's went off on a haywire there for a second. All right. Last article in their bad business. I don't know why this is. I don't know. I kind of put it under bad business because I just don't know how to feel about this. So Subway is now looking to upgrade the sales slump. Of course, a lot of companies are starting to put in your kiosks, apps to pre-order, all these kinds of things, and Subway has traditionally held back on a lot of that kind of stuff. And now they're putting in kiosks and ordering apps and things just to kind of modernize their things. I just think that this is, I don't know, it might help them boost their sales, but I think this is bad for people because, like, I've ordered at some of these kiosks. Now, the ones where you just place the order and then that prints out a ticket and you go pay for it, I don't mind those very much at all. But the ones I have a problem with are like if you've been into a Panera Bread and they put in their ordering kiosks, you actually slide your card in the ordering kiosk and the amount of data that they can get about you from that card directly tied into the order means huge, scary amounts of data collection. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. Now, if I go in there, but again, though, you also lose a lot of the ability that going through. And it's like Subway's not really suffering from a problem that they would really need an ordering kiosk. I think it would really cause a disconnect and therefore probably hurt business if you had this type of thing going. And so with that being said, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like ordering kiosks and apps, or are you as crazy as I am? Or like, no, thank you. All right. Let's see. Arch with XFCE is the best. Are you on Arch now? Okay. Love the kitty. Yep, he's cute. That's the point I make in a video script for a new video. If you're a small business, CentOS makes way more sense. Yep. Also, Switch Linux, do you ever do the Arch Bang? Not sure why you chose Arch Band instead of Arch. Installed for my channel in VBox, and you said you would probably do a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't look into it. It was probably other pressing things. Yeah, and I just didn't have a chance to look at it yet. If you see my board of things to do, it's extremely full. So it's like, I don't always get the things in a timely manner necessarily. Especially since I've kind of adapted this schedule that I really like, where I'm doing top fives on Mondays and distros and software on Tuesdays and Thursdays, another live feed on Wednesdays. And so, it slows down some of the extra tinkering, but it keeps me on a better schedule that I like. Okay. Missed my B box. Okay. Let's see. Tape drives are cool. Yeah. I never actually had a tape drive. I had some 5 1/4s though. Laserdisc and 8-track tapes. I had a Laserdisc player. Laserdisc players were rock. They actually were better quality than DVDs, but they were just not practical. It's the problem with them. 8-bit guy is an interesting guy. Fun looking back when he shows the old hardware. Yeah, old hardware rocked. It's really cool. You know you're old when you're watching him review something that you had. If you know how to run and manage Linux, you have an advantage in the marketplace. The majority of the people have no clue. That's true. It's okay. There it is. Okay. A lot of truckers had 8 tracks. What is the time there? It is 23:22 in Brazil. It is 10:27 p.m. So it looks like we're probably on the same time zone. Stay away from casinos. They're just there to make a fool out of all of us and eat your money and get addicted and bet your life savings. Absolutely, yeah. Casinos are a bad place to be. That's for sure. Let's see here. Yep. Sidetracked in memory lane. Yeah, that's where I was. Should just chip us already instead of moving slowly with these stupid kiosks. Yeah, that's probably it. Not like Yoda from Star Wars, but I just use a brain and ask questions and look for the catch. Yep. I found having a rigid schedule works best for me. I seem to hit all my marks having something pre-planned and laid out. Absolutely. I need to go back to that, and I think I will be shortly. Absolutely. That works. All right. Now we're on to scary business. Scary business. Do I have something that might work for scary business? I think this is probably close enough to privacy stuff. We'll go back to my privacy view. So scary business. This is interesting. At what point in time, what's the name of that disease where you really think that you're disabled, and so people go and actually literally pay to get their bodies disabled? It's creepy as all get out, but it's like, I feel like I should be paralyzed. So they'll spend their life savings to go have a doctor clip their spinal cord so they go paralyzed. So at what point in time are we just going to be like, okay, I'm just like, this finger doesn't do much more than point and click anyway, so I'm just going to chop the finger off and replace it with a bionic, Alexa-enabled, scan it, say it, Amazon Dash thing. That way I can just pick up things like these and just go, zzz, and it'll order. Need more stuff. Zzz. Running low on mac and cheese. It'll streamline our life. We can just empty the box of mac and cheese, spot really quickly it's the last one, and we just scan our finger down the barcode as we throw it in the trash can, and it will automatically order us more. It'll save to the end of the day all of the things that we ordered, and at the end of the day, It'll auto package everything and give us the best shipping rate. So throughout the day, we can just be scanning things with our finger. I mean, if I don't see a barcode, finger, order me some unicorn meat. And at the end of the day, it'll conglomerate all of the things that I've asked my mystical, magical, Alexa-powered, say it, scan it, Alexa dash finger. And it'll ship it all at the end of the day. I'm going to do it. Is anyone with me? I need a bionic Alexa, say it, scan it, Amazon ordering thing at the tip of my finger. That's what I need. That's what I need. Let's do it. This thing is creepy. I mean, you can scan things. You can talk to it. It's so small. It's forever in your pocket. It's attached to you. Creepy. Thank you. I prefer to be a hobo than I be a naughty Borg. Yeah. Wife, who's also watching Tom, said, I am running for the woods. Yep. Looks cool, but guard your wallet or tie it to the prepaid debit card. Yeah. Tell her to run down the dark alley instead. Yeah. All right. Now this is punishment. Right here. This is enough to not drink and drive. Plainsville judge requiring drunk driving defendants to download Uber and Lyft on their smartphones. And actually, they didn't say it in the headline, but according to the article, also tie their credit card to it. I mean, Your Honor, send me to jail. I do not want an Uber account. Like, we are in a world right now where the judge tells us to put the app of the most corrupt company in America onto our smartphones and pay them our money. I give up. Yeah, I don't know if I should cry or laugh either, and I mean, I'll grant it. This is punishment. Right here, this is enough to get me to stop drinking and driving. I don't know about you, but holy moly. 26-year-old Plainsview woman stands before the municipal judge. How much you want to bet that this guy's got some stock in Uber? Or Lyft? I don't know. It's like, this is better. Like, this is a good way that you won't drink and drive. Why don't we discourage her from drinking? I give up. I have nothing more to say. I mean, yeah. Oh, great. More on this robocall rules applying directly here. Of course, the Republicans are already using this technology, so they want to keep it for all their voting stuff. The Democrats are like, we just don't know. So, of course, I predicted this was going to happen. The Democrats came across the opposite aisle as the Republicans. It's curious if the Republicans came down and came against us if the Democrats would have supported it. I'm curious about that. Is this they took opposite views because they want to be opposite on all issues, or did they take opposite views for other things? I've already talked about this before, but basically we're delivering, companies are starting to auto-deliver voicemails directly into the inbox without ringing the phone first. Republicans want to say that this is a free speech argument, and you had better allow this because this is free speech. At what point in time is delivering a scammy voicemail to my inbox? How am I violating your free speech if I say, no, don't do that? So, I don't know. I think we just need to completely abolish both political parties. Completely abolish them. No political parties. No more. No more conventions. No more of this stuff. I mean, think of all of the Russians we'll put out of work. I mean, if we don't have a Republican convention or a Democratic convention for them to hack, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, Democrats are coming down on the consumer side saying, was there a quote in there? I thought there was a quote. Should this petition be granted, telemarketers, debt collectors, and other callers could bombard Americans with unwanted voicemails, leaving consumers with no way to block these intrusive messages. I'll tell you, if this goes on and I start getting these direct calls, I will actually completely disable my voicemail box. Oh boy. This probably should have been under the scary tech. But this is more malware. In this case, it was malware that was used to knock out power. And this is a significant article because here in America, our electric grid is extremely fragile. We are extremely fragile. This grid is powerfully fragile. And one of the things that we need to keep in mind about it is that if one thing kind of knocks our grid off, we are framing our entire life around power, and it's so easy to knock out. Like somebody ran a drone into a transformer. I think it was this week or last week, and it knocked out power. I forget where it was, but it knocked out power for a day. Even here in my town, we had the tornadoes come through, whatever. It knocked down the power lines, just the main power lines downtown. There were people in our community, which is a fairly large community, that were without power for 4 days. That's crazy. Our electric infrastructure is way too fragile right now. And these guys here, it was just Russian hackers. They took down a power grid. They can damage amplifiers. Surging amplifiers can damage them. They could do that. Here's kind of how it works. So the first thing that happens is it installs, once it gets in the first time, it installs several backdoors and some other tools, and then it gets into a launcher. It can wipe out data and then do whatever else you need it to do. So this is kind of scary here to look at what we're doing. But that's kind of disconcerting what can happen. So I don't know what to say about that. All right, last article I picked out here. I wasn't all the fan of all of the Goldilocks references and the cute little story, so I'll kind of screw down to the very bottom of the article where they get technical here. But basically, the new version of Firefox, version 54. Now I'm running 52 right here. But version 54 of Firefox is now multi-threaded. And so, like I said, let me skip by all of the Goldilocks-y stuff. But basically, you get down here to the bottom, and what they're doing here, this is under my good news, by the way. I should go back to my basic news one, because this is basic good news. Firefox should, in theory, start to run a little bit better, a little bit faster. Again, watch Brian Lunduke's video on why the World Wide Web sucks, because he goes into some of the issues with the RAM usage at the time. And so, with that being said, what we want to try is, they say here that Chrome is already multi-threaded. I don't have much experience with Chrome, but, in my experience, neither one works better than the other. In fact, I think Firefox works better for me than Chromium for the most part, but I don't know. So I'd be curious to know if I get a performance boost when this system pushes to version 54. So that's kind of that. Let's have a quick look at the comments. So a lot come down through here. Let's see. Is that even constitutional? Apparently it is, because they're fighting it on a First Amendment thing, which is a constitutional argument, although it doesn't make any sense as to why. Judge probably gets a kickback, probably. Cash only and debit cards. Judge has a Bitcoin. I bet you $100. Uber creator gets murdered by his own app. All pray Jesus. No, I don't want to wish death on anybody, especially somebody as debased as him. I want to give him as much time as he can to come to Christ. Why not require her to buy a bicycle instead? Democrats take consumer sides. Yeah. Just because the Republicans are in power. Trust me, if Democrats were in power, they wouldn't be. Flip-flops every 1 to 2 election cycles. It's just the way he wants to make the law that everyone must wear their underwear on the outside so it can be checked daily. All about lobbyists and bribes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Tom for King. First order business. Abolish all national parties. I'm going to download more movies and videos for the trip tomorrow. See ya later, Piggy Uniform. Tom would be a great president. Trust me, I'm not running. I'm not running. I don't use Twitter. No. No, I'm not on Twitter. No. No. Don't wish the office of president on me. I'd cause a war. The country would spontaneously spiral into productivity. We wouldn't know what to do with it all. Limit Congress to 2 8-year terms and make it treason to be a lobbyist and watch them become honest. There you go. Canada, we had a major blackout where cell phones did not work. Nothing. So you are correct. Absolutely. Yep. Stuxnet virus does that. Yep. Taking a power grid is telling us a message. Yep. Why in the world do we have power infrastructures on the internet? That's completely retarded. Yes. Yes, it is. Indeed it is. But why? So that they can get Microsoft server upgrades, because we all know that we have to security update our computers. No, actually, I could run a Windows. In fact, I know a guy who last time I talked to him, which was 2013, he still ran all of his business on a laptop running Windows 95. Because it's not on the internet. You don't need to install updates if you're offline. You know? So yeah, putting a computer that runs the power grid on the internet is the epitome of stupidity. For sure. Why in the world? Yeah, let's see. We welcome overlords. I run Firefox 3.11. Nice. Yeah, 2.5 I thought was the glory days of Firefox. I loved 2.5. How about years ago when we had a blackout? It affected the northeast of the states and Ontario, Canada for a week. Yeah. I think I lived out west during that time. Toronto. Oh, you're in Toronto. Cool. Yeah. I visited Toronto. I think last time I was in Toronto was like 10 years ago. I passed through it. Vancouver here. I think they call that Canadian Hollywood, don't they? Took a week for nuclear reactors being pull power to electrify southern Ontario. Bieber much? No! Do not say that name on this channel. Unless you're talking about Bieber's Linux distro. It's going to sneak into the stream. Don't mind me. No problem, Mark. How's it going there? Firefox is great until you have one badly written page take down the whole browser and all tabs. Yeah, I mean, I've had that happen on Chrome too, but not as much, but you are right. However, when you turn the thing back on, it will reload them all. Not on your own understanding. Absolutely. All right, last article here that I'm going to have a quick gander at is Logitech. Logitech finally finds a good use for wireless charging, a mouse pad. So basically they have this mouse pad that you charge this mouse on. It's a neat concept. I'm not sure I'd have one, mostly because my mouse pads just get thrown all over the place depending on where my mice are. You know, I got mice all over the place. I got one over here. I got a mouse over here. I mean, I could play 3-card Monte with my mice right here. It's pretty awesome. The cool thing, though, I mean, having a pad like this or a bowl like this and having all sorts of devices that could all be charged, that would be a cool concept. Just having the bowl there and just throw all the stuff into it that needs charged without having to mess with all of the chargers and charging ports and stuff like that. So that's kind of neat. I just looked at this. It's like $100 kit. It looks cool. I'm not, I wouldn't buy it, I don't think, but it is a cool concept. And the mouse looks pretty cool, too. I'm not sure if this is the mouse or alternative view. Just kidding. It's actually just the Batmobile. Yeah. That would be a cool view of the mouse, though. Little Batmobile. It looks like a cool mouse. I like it. I stick with my cheaper stuff. Actually, this one here I just got at Best Buy for like $20 or something. I needed a new wireless setup, but works nicely. But yeah, this is a pretty cool looking mouse. And our last article of the day, which is okay, then is McDonald's using Snapchat to hire millennials. Go figure. Them millennials are messing it all up, man. Sorry, millennials. I was trying to load the actual press release from McDonald's. It wasn't loading earlier. Let's see if it loads. Hey, it loads now. I pulled up, this is my backup article in case it didn't work. So, applying at McDonald's is a snap. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Why do we need Snapchat to apply to McDonald's? I just don't get it. So here, they want to hire 250,000 workers across the U.S. this summer. So Golden Arches has turned to the services to lure in potential applicants since most of its hires are between 16 and 24 years old. Half of Snapchat users just happen to fall in the same age range, so the company will start sending direct invites to users today. Anyone interested? Whoa, I did not catch that. That's creepy. They're sending direct... What, are they just randomly spamming people's Snapchat accounts, or do you have to ask for this first? Okay, I got to read this article now in depth. I didn't read the article in depth because I threw it up at the last minute because my McDonald's press release was not loading earlier. All right. First launch Snapplication filter, which shows you wearing a McDonald's uniform in Australia back in April. You have to record a 10-second video of yourself with the filter on and send it to the company. Once your video has been received, McDonald's will send you a link to the application page also within the app so you can formally apply for a job. I'm scared now. Oh, boy. Crazy conspiracy theorists, until all things are destitute, we become the ones they seek to find out how to fix it. Yep. That's what's going to happen. You keep a phone charging 100% for a while, it wears down the battery. Would the same happen to a mouse? Having a wire mouse now. I'm not sure about that mouse pad. I'm not sure if it's really useful. These things take like one AA battery, and I don't think I've changed them in a long time. The only thing, guess what? Of all of you guys have seen my desk with right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 computer mice within sight of me right now, which are all dedicated to their own separate computers. Okay. And I think I have that many keyboards. I think all my keyboards, of course, there's a laptop there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 keyboards. You know that I really don't change batteries except for one keyboard. One keyboard, for some reason, wants the batteries changed perpetually. Coinkydink? I think not. It's a Mac keyboard for my Mac. Yeah, I could use a generic keyboard, but I wanted to go for the full Mac experience. Except the mouse. I was not paying like $60 for a mouse. No, not a chance. My $10 Logitech here will work just fine. That's not. Is that? No, this is the one for the Mac. The one for the Mac is the one that does not have a unifying receiver, because it's the only one that does not have a keyboard and a mouse simultaneously. But yeah, that's kind of scary. The batteries are the same type. Yes, I imagine. Maybe not. Well, mice are plugged in. But then I have one mouse. I have one of the really nice, expensive Logitech, the really tiny Logitech mice, the Bluetooth ones that I use with my Surface for writing. That has a separate charging port. I think I've charged the thing twice, and I think I got it a year and a half, 2 years ago. Charge it twice, ever. So it's not like a mouse really needs its own charging mouse pad, I don't think. But mixed Snapchat, nice. So do you not get to hire with no Snapchat? I'm assuming you can still send in an application, but I don't know. Batteries are the same type, then yes, I imagine so. Still, maybe not cause mice plugged into the power source. Yeah, I don't know. I would like fries with that. Yeah. Not direct to the wall, so I don't know. Drunk pick Snapchat job application. I don't want to work at McDonald's. One does not go to McDonald's and not get fries with that. It's like having a double cheeseburger and asking for a Diet Coke. Okay, the funniest thing I've ever been through. No, actually not really. But that was a very dramatic way to introduce the story. I'm working the drive-in at Burger King, and a guy orders a Whopper value meal with fries, and I can't remember if it was the medium or the large, and a Diet Coke. And I give him its total. In fact, this is how scary it is when you're working a restaurant like that. At a time they don't take credit cards. That cost $3.17. Okay, it was $3.52 if you wanted cheese on that. And I still remember the prices of the Burger King menu a long time ago. $2.64 for a chicken sandwich. I'm telling you. So he gets around the drive-through, and I hand him his Diet Coke, and he says, "Is there fat in the Diet Coke?" No, but there's some fat in the Whopper. So I went ahead and slipped him one of those nutritional guides in his bag. Thought he might find it helpful if he's all concerned about the fat in the Diet Coke. That was funny. You might have a mouse addiction. Addiction, you mean? Addiction? Have 3 mouses, all Logitech, one for me, one for my wife, one for the media player. Do they use glass electrolytes? I don't know. Still like my Kingston trackball. Hi, Anthony. How are you? All right. Well, here's McDonald's official press release. We're always looking for new and innovative ways to find job seekers. We thought Snapplications was a great way to allow us to meet job seekers where they are, their phones. As we see the younger generation seek out their first jobs, we want to make them aware of great opportunities available, especially considering we are committed to being America's best first job. Starting June 13th, Snapchat users nationwide... Oh, God. It is random. This is where selling all of our data to ad networks gave us. Starting June 13, Snapchat users nationwide will be served 10 10-second video ads of real restaurant employees talking about the benefits of working at McDonald's. That's called a commercial, people. Viewers can then swipe up to instantly visit the McDonald's career webpage in Snapchat to explore the opportunities offered by McDonald's and apply to their local restaurants if they so choose. The opportunities. I'm dreaming of my opportunities. I could have the opportunity to flip a hamburger. I could be the deep fryer technician, or I might be the McFlurry manager. Front-end sales associate. Centerpoint expediter. The manner of the grills. These are the opportunities you will find on the Snapplication. I might even be able to apply as a shift supervisor. Wow. Wow. No, McDonald's still has Hamburger University. Hamburger University is not a place where employees go. It is a place where franchisees go. But yes, they do have a thing called Hamburger University. When you apply to be a franchise owner at McDonald's, you have to go off to Hamburger University to learn all of the training you need to do to be a franchise owner for McDonald's. So how is it you hire people today? Showing the benefits of working there? I don't know. As far as a job like McDonald's, I mean, you scatter the applications around town and see who calls, honestly. Something more real, it depends on how you're looking. You know, don't forget to ask $15 an hour to work there. George Carlin of Changing the Words. Yeah, you must be referencing his euphemism segment on parental advisory explicit lyrics. I believe he talked about euphemisms on that. So that's that. So, you know, and this isn't some third-party thing. I was reading the exact quote from McDonald's blog. Scary. Well, folks, we have run our course, and I'm about 2 hours into this thing. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of end it right about here. This has been a scary video. Don't forget, if you're on Snapchat, you might get to fill out a Snapplication where you will be able to wear the McDonald's uniform, and you could become a proud member of America's first best job. That's right. That's right. Well, folks, once again, if you would like to help support this channel and what we do, I do have a Patreon account, and there is also some Amazon links down below. And with that being said, I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Have a good evening, everybody. And you know what? The kitty's still sitting over here. I think I'm going to end with feeding of the kitty.